My friends, a recent news poll in Israel indicates that if member of Knesset Ben Gavir takes the helm of the religious Zionist party, that party would soar to an unprecedented 13 seats in the upcoming fall elections. I find this development particularly disappointing, given that 30 years ago I served as National Vice President of the Religious Zionists of America, and 10 years prior as chair of Mizrahi Young Leadership. Who is Itamar Ben Gavir? He is a leader of the Israeli far-right Otzma Yehudit party. As a lawyer, he is known for defending Jewish radicals on trial in Israel. He was exempted from service by the Israel Defense Forces due to his extreme right political background. In 1995, a few weeks before the assassination of Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin, he appeared on Israeli television brandishing a Cadillac hood ornament that had been stolen from Rabin's car, declaring, "We got to his car and we'll get to him too." Ben Gavir claims that his party, Otzma Yehudit, is one of the ideological successors to the right-wing ultra-nationalist Rabbi Meir Kahane. Kahanism is an extremist ideology based on the teachings of Meir Kahane, a U.S.-born Orthodox rabbi who espoused a Jewish supremacist worldview and whose party Kach was banned from the Knesset. In this Shabbat's Torah portion, Parashat Pinchas, we read the story of Pinchas, a grandson of Aaron the high priest, who kills an Israelite out of zealous, ultra-nationalist fervor. There are those who equate people of faith with zealots, doing anything to ensure the continuation of their religion or peoplehood. But the message of Pinchas is clear. We should not let religion be hijacked by zealots, not in the Torah and not today. Zealotry is a code word for fanaticism, extremism, fundamentalism. There are moments when bold zealotry is required, but most of the time, leadership demands dialogue and tolerance. It is the gentle ways of Torah that nurture unity and spread God's name in the world. The 19th century Kotzker Rebbe writes, "When Moses saw how dynamic Pinchas was, he was afraid that he would be chosen as his successor. He was not pleased with the prospect of having such a zealot as the leader of the Jewish people. So Moses calls upon God to choose a successor for him who will understand and respect differences between people, rather than a zealot like Pinchas, whose instinct was to kill the sinner, to separate between us and them." And in identifying Moses' successor, Joshua, God emphasizes that inspiration, not passion, not zealotry, nor popularity, makes for a successful leader. My friends, once in several years, different Torah portions are read on the same week in Israel and in the diaspora. For reasons related to the calendar, 2022, and 5782 happens to be one of those years. Next Shabbat, we will catch up with the Torah cycle in Israel by reading a double portion, Matot and Mas'eh, while Israel will only read the portion of Mas'eh. Perhaps Israel's religious Zionist leadership and its multitude of followers should spend this Shabbat in the diaspora for an additional reading of Parashat Pinchas. Its message is worth hearing a second time. Shabbat Shalom.